Hi, folks. Welcome to our first international workshop. We have comedians from all over the globe dropping some of the freshest, spiciest jokes that we can have at 10 a.m. my time. What time is it for y'all? I know we got Vietnam represented. So what time is it there?
9 p.m.
All right. Ahmad, where are you from?
Currently residing in the Middle East. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, but yeah, I'm happy right now. It's 5 p.m. here. It's much better than doing shows at like 6 a.m.
All right.
Workshops.
And Narek, where are you from, and what time is it for you?
Armenia. It's 6 p.m.
Okay. Well, fuck me. Look at you all having normal social lives. All right. So if you've never done a workshop before, or if you're watching us from home, because we got a couple of you that we're replacing your daytime soap operas, the way this works is that we get random topics assigned to us. We get time to write jokes on them, and then we see how much we like them. And we get feedback and give feedback during that whole process. As always, this is a comedy safe space, which means everything we say here can't be held against us. You can't cancel us. You can't kick us off SNL. Other than that, what we do ask is that if you do say something that is offensive, we will try to give you a little bit of feedback around that. But just understand, we all know that you're doing this with the best of intentions. We're all here just to try to make people laugh. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I'm going to start my timer here. My topic was jurisdictions, and I have to say, I love something about movies where a cop is chasing somebody, and they get to the county line and they just have to stop driving, and they're just like, "Oh, it's not in our jurisdiction. We can't. We know you did a crime, but we respect geography more than we do the law in where I'm from." I think jurisdictions are the most arbitrary thing. I think if I was a geography teacher in high school, that's how I would start everything. You'd be like, "Do you want to know how you can beat the cops? Learn geography." All right. That's why maps are important. It's just so we could all outrun the cops. It doesn't matter what crime you committed as long as you were out of their jurisdiction. I think that there would be more murders on county lines than any other place in the United States if jurisdictions actually meant anything. If you just murdered somebody and you left half their body on one side, who takes that case? I don't have any jokes for this. I'm just pondering how to get away with a crime spree at this point. It's not even comedy anymore. It's just my TED Talk on how to commit murders.
Awesome.
I just think it's funny that they say that justice is blind, but it still respects geographical boundaries. You can see the county line; it just knows that it's there. I also love every cop movie. They always fight over who has jurisdiction, and I don't think as a cop I would ever try that hard. If the FBI came in and was like, "Hey, we want this murder," I'd be like, "That's fine. This seems difficult. Your job is tough. You can have this. I don't need overtime that bad. All right. I'll just go bust kids smoking weed and take their pot. I'd rather do that job." I swear to God, if I was a cop and there was a murder in my jurisdiction, I would treat it like a death at Disneyland. You would just see me out there dragging a corpse across the state line to make it somebody else's problem. I was like, "Oh, not in this town. Oh, that sounds like a true homicide and a possible serial killer. Nope, not here." That sounds like a New York problem. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's such a weird thing. I also think jurisdiction is weird when it comes to what criminal you can let into your country. I just think it's weird. That Roman Polanski, we know he's guilty of rape of a minor, and he just gets to play jurisdictional tag across Europe, and people still make movies with him. And we just treat it like he figured out the game of tag that is our legal system. The man is just playing the floor is lava with our courts. Yeah, okay. That's my time on jurisdiction. Now that I've offended Roman Polanski fans. All right.
But you also have brought in the floor is lava fans, and that's everybody.
All right. All right. So this is the part where we give any feedback, any tags, any thoughts like that.
All I wrote down was like the first setup where you said learn geography, and then like it turns out that was the whole set. So like that was a good. That was a
That
good.
was a good. All right.
I like that idea though. Like, we'll run them to the county line. That's what happens. Like they can't come after you after that.
All right.
The punchline that you used.
Imagine like just like
Care about-
their like car just slams on the brakes like at the county line, and it's just like does a flip.
Well, then they're like, shit, we crossed the county line with this car accident. That's going to be forever if we get an ambulance here.
Well, of course, they would want to cross the line with a car accident because they don't want their fellow cops to come out and have to do the paperwork on that fucking accident. So they want to be on the other side. That's not our property. That's not our fucking. That's your write-up right there. That's your paperwork.
Yep. All right, Ahmad, you were saying?
I love the punchline that you used about in the beginning. What was it? Don't worry, we care about geography more than we care about the law. That's a perfect. I feel like you can make it go harder. You can say like, don't worry, we care about geography more than we care, or some more like hits home. I also love the Roman Polanski tag thing. The first thing that came in my mind is like playing hot potato with Roman Polanski, where he's just jumping from place to place trying to and no one really wants to catch him. I feel like they're just like, you know what, fuck it, he was a Hollywood guy. We don't want that. We don't want those problems. But yeah, I love the analogies. I mean, now I don't think I'm going to be playing The Floor is Lava ever again. But yeah, I loved it. It was awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Didn't really have a lot to write on, but I love the punchlines and the analogies.
Yeah, I loved it too. I didn't write anything, but it was actually reminding me of roads in India. That happens a lot in India. They build roads and then they stop in the middle of it and then say that this was until our jurisdiction, and the next part is like some other state's jurisdiction. So the road stays incomplete for years. That's pretty funny. It doesn't happen for crimes that much in India. Mostly happens on infrastructural development a lot.
All right, awesome. All right. So let's keep on rocking. We're going to bring up our next comedian. All right. I will start your time as soon as I drag and drop. Start your time whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay. I've written really shit. I'm not happy with this at all. So my topic was dress codes. When I think of dress codes, I think of religion. I lived in Bangladesh, which is a Muslim country where women are expected to double cover their chest. Like if you're wearing a t-shirt, you'll be expected to wrap a scarf around your chest area. Now, I grew up in a city in India where people generally accept the fact that women would have boobs, having 2 lumps of various sizes in the chest area is acceptable. In fact, they would give you compliments on your boobs. The bigger or more visible it is, the better the compliments. I want to lick those juicy ripe mangoes, or melon, for you I'll commit a felon. Yeah, baby, that made my day. But in Bangladesh, the acceptance that women could grow boobs is really low. That's not common knowledge. So if you go out wearing just a t-shirt and jeans, people would stop and stare at your boobs with mixed feelings, suspicion, and disbelief, both. Okay, let's see what other places have dress codes. Schools have dress codes, apparently to keep parity between social classes, so that a rich and a poor kid would wear the same uniform, so they could all look equally ugly. You won't be able to discriminate between a Trump and a tramp at kindergarten, apparently. Airlines have dress codes too, but for completely different reasons. They dress up so they look smarter and hotter than us coach class passengers. Remind you, they serve us, but they always have the upper hand in that relationship just because of the dress code. Army has dress codes. I wonder what's the logic though that they go for other people's blood while color coordinating with leafy vegetables. It doesn't make any sense. Research says that dress codes impact perception. So let's say if Jeremy Wagner wears the uniform of a pilot, you'd not look at him like he's a pedophile. So dress codes have that kind of impact. Back to religion, Sikh men in India cover up their luscious mane with turbans. This prevents them from appearing on shampoo ads. I don't see any other reason why they would do that. Lastly, coming back to lockdown dress codes, I think they're fantastic. It's bottomless, hence liberating. All you need is to make your upper body count, just like Kevin is doing now. That's all I got for dress codes. Thank you.
All right. All right. Let us get some feedback. Okay. First,
Everybody had plenty to write.
Nark, you want to jump in there? Go for it.
Yeah. So when you say that they double cover their chest, maybe you can also add that they also need beard or.
Sorry, say it again.
Your
I
microphone's
see.
not clear.
Oh, not. Somebody else start. I tried to change the microphone.
All right. And that was pretty clear. How did that happen? He was wearing a
feedback.
different shirt. He had a different shirt on, like in that other video. Like started with a different shirt. Like what was going on?
I thought you had a twin brother for like a split second that was joining us.
No, yeah, he was totally different, like in a dark room, and I'm like, what's going on?
All right. Let's try that one.
It's better now.
Yeah.
All right.
I love the phrase "equally ugly." I thought that was just a good turn of phrase. Also, I love that you called a military uniform a dress code, because I can't imagine anything that would make like uber masculine dudes very angry if you made fun of them. Like, it's like, oh, it's a cute dress code you're following. They're like, this is my military. I have a Purple Heart, and you're like, yeah, it's a cute outfit.
This is dress code, you sissy.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be fun. I think it's funny. I just think there's easy joke to make, and maybe that's why you wouldn't want to make it. That they make women double cover their shirts, but I'm allowed to have my man boobs on full display.
Yeah.
And if some guys just never knew that women grew boobs, they're just like, oh man, took home another fat guy on accident. This is unfortunate. Yeah. All right, nicely done.
I wanted to say, like, women are always falling in love with people in uniforms, you know, like you said, the police, the military, but like here in Vietnam, you know, you fall in love with every security guard that there is at the shop. Like, you know that you can't do that because they're just old men. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a joke to go into of like, what makes the uniform sexy? Because like, Subway employees have to wear a uniform, and like fast food employees, and nobody wants to have sex with them.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
How
Where's the
many
line?
do you have to carry before it gets sexy again?
Yeah,
Like,
that's good.
I'm a
Pizza
Taco
delivery
Bell
guy, yeah.
manager. I'm a Taco Bell manager. You can tell by the stripes on my shoulders. See these 2 stripes and that star right there? That's a freaking Taco Bell manager. That's how you make the uniforms better, I guess. Like, you put stripes and stars on them.
Ahmad, Narek, what are you feeling now that we got your mic now?
Oh yeah, the one I thought could be added was that I say that they have to double cover the chest. You can say also that they also need to grow beards. They need to double cover the chest and grow beards. I don't know.
I love the analogy that you made between different countries, like in Bangladesh. It's like generally women can have boobs there, but now, like, you know, certain people could look at a woman with disbelief. It reminded me of that comedian. She was actually talking about, I forgot what the bit was, but she was talking about how men literally look at women like they're Bob's and vagine or something like that, where it was just she was basically making fun of the fact that how they just look at women like differently in different cultures. But yeah, I feel like it was creative. You can expand on that, like especially because you're international. You lived in a bunch of different places, and those cultures they do look differently on women. I live in the Middle East, so I know how that feels. But yeah, there's a lot of creativity that you can go on with that.
Thanks, yeah.
All right. Awesome. So we are going to keep on rocking through here. And Ahmad, we're going to bring you up, and you're going to have 5 minutes whenever you're ready.
I don't think I'm going to cover the 5 minutes, but I'll see what I can do because I kind of just wrote this material 25 minutes before we started. But yeah, I'll do what I can. My topic was first encounters. And honestly, I hate first encounters because they're always awkward. And that's how they should be. They should be awkward. People don't like saying that, but honestly, first encounters should always be awkward, you know? Whoever's comfortable when they first meet you probably has dead bunnies under their porch, you know? It's all a front because you're encountering a new creature, so it's not normal for you to act like nothing is different, you know? Whoever acts like this is a normal part of their daily life. Is probably a sociopath and is just trying their best to put on a normal face, you know? I'm probably saying that because I just had a first encounter with my best friend's girlfriend and it was awkward as hell. But I also hate when people use strange sentences when they first meet people. Like, it doesn't really make sense, you know? Like, a lot of sentences should be saved for like 5 months after you meet someone, you know? Like, I was a waiter for a long time, and once I was bussing tables, and I asked the guy what he would want on his steak, and he was like, "Oh, you know me, I like my steak well done." I was like, "Well, I only met you like 3 minutes ago. I have to be a real judgmental douchebag to know you within 3 minutes of meeting you, you know?" So I like to mess with people when they say shit like that when I first meet them. Like, I'd get this guy steak raw, not even on the grill, bloody, and with like a side of pigtails and like pig ears. And then when they'd be like, "Why'd you get me this?" I'd be like, "Oh, because I know you." And yeah, that's pretty much my set.
That's nice.
I probably just made like 45 seconds or something. Yeah, should have wrote some more.
You got 2 minutes. So yeah, I wouldn't feel bad at all. All right.
Good job.
So feedback around that.
I caught the end of it, but like I totally agree. There should, I don't know what your topic was, but there should be a limit of time before you can say "I love you," or before you could say like, "Oh, you're a good person, Kevin." I mean, we've known each other online for like a year now, maybe, but do I really know if you're a good person? You know, like there's, you gotta know somebody. I don't know where that's going, but 5 months later, I love you, Ahmed. Good job.
Thanks, man. The topic was first encounters, and a lot of people use weird, strange phrases on first encounters, like "you know me" or shit like that, and that shit just doesn't work when you first meet someone. So yeah, but thanks. I love you too in the future.
Like typically you hear like people say, "Oh, like he's an asshole," until you get to know him. Well, no,
Yeah.
that dude's just an asshole. Like they say that about me, so it's like it's something I've heard before.
Don't take
He's
it
a nice
personally,
guy.
Jeremy. It's okay.
I think you should take it personally. Maybe change some things. Like,
I'm working on it.
I love the idea of how you took it with the restaurant story. I think that's a really because I had never thought about that. But what if because I'm guilty of like those useless, nonsensical statements to people just to fill space, and I'm so glad I never had you as a server. So
Yeah.
You both
Yeah,
just keep
serving that guy with raw steak
and
and pigtails is quite funny because you know him.
yeah,
That was a good tangent. Yeah.
and what happens when you get that person that's a people pleaser? Like I'd be eating it and just be like, well, I can't make him feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's just gonna look like a weirdo in front of his friends, like eating a raw steak, and he's like, "Well, you know me," you know.
And then all of his friends are gonna only serve him steak that way. It just ruins every barbecue.
Yeah, don't put Steve's steak on the grill. He likes it like straight up bloody and like just cut from a cow.
Yeah,
that would be funny. I feel like I met guys that use those kind of like talks, and I'm guilty of it too. I do that all the time, where I just like use filler words. But yeah, when that one specific phrase of "you know me" is like, I never understood people who say that when I first meet them. It's like I met you like 3 minutes ago, But yeah.
Yep.
Well, I have my English students online. They're like, for the first time, they're like, "Oh, hey, my name is this, and I go to school here, and nice to meet you." And I'm like, okay, but I can't see what they look like, so it's like weird because like I don't know. I know that you like to play ping pong and that you're in like 12th grade and you're learning English. That's all I know. I don't know what you look like. I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, first date encounters or even like first dating app chats are quite interesting. They are pretty funny. I mean, I got someone recently writing to me that he has a duple and he's married. Sorry, he's never married, no kids. Would I be interested to check out his duple? So that was a pretty good first encounter, A lot of weird shit happens on the dating app. So you can take that to many different directions.
First time on Grindr.
Yeah.
It's not an app for sandwiches.
I love ground black pepper, but it's not that.
Yeah. All right. Narc, any feedback or any?
Oh, no feedback.
Now, I know I added your
That was
second
great.
camera or your twins camera. Was it Jeremy or you that were up next?
I don't know. I didn't even see the lineup, actually.
Whatever, I
I
don't care.
don't know where
There
it
is
is.
no lineup. It's just us.
Yeah, it's just who
Oh.
I choose to throw up next.
I don't mind.
Okay, so we'll get you a timer here, and you're ready whenever you are.
Can I ask something before?
Yeah.
Do we have like assigned topics that we talk about, or we just talk about whatever?
Did Scott not get you a topic?
No.
That's so.
Okay, your
Okay.
topic is no topic. Talk
Yeah.
about no topic for 5 minutes.
Talk about how
Nice.
shitty Canadians are.
Yeah.
This is maybe a first time this has happened.
I know.
No,
Yeah,
I think
no.
I've been guilty of it with our hosts.
It's weird because
Kevin, you actually did that to me once, so this isn't
Yeah.
the first time it
Oh.
happened.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
A lot of feelings coming out of the bag now.
Yeah, no. Internationally, I'm getting trashed here. This is horrible.
Shit is unfolding on tonight's show. It's just
Hey, for this
Problems.
one, I actually asked Scott for my topic, and He did not answer, and then I spoke to you, Kevin, and you immediately gave me a topic. Then Scott came back to me with a different topic, and I'm like, "Oh, shut up! Kevin has already given me a topic."
All right. So normally, yes, you'll get a topic and you'll get a couple days to write on it. So if you want to, whatever you would like to work on, and we'll just
All right.
grab 2 sets for that. And you could have just lied to us and been like, "This is my word." I'm not saying I've ever done that, but how do you think we got to
Yeah.
jurisdiction?
Okay. All right.
We got to that county line, buddy. It don't matter.
All right. So whenever you're ready, man.
All right. So sometimes when you find money in your old pocket, like a coat or something, and then you are very happy, but then some unexpected expense comes up, and you have to pay with this money to this expense. And so you were happy before, but then you just pay to this expense. So then you're like, the money kind of comes and goes. So one time I invited a Tinder match to open mic, and she came a little bit early before the mic even started, and started to talk with another guy. And then they left together before the mic even started. I don't know if this comparison is relevant with the old money in the pocket and this girl coming. Or it would have been more relevant if the guy was about to fuck me and just invited Tinder match to get fucked instead of me.
Oh.
All right. I met my girlfriend at a comedy show. She was in the audience and I was performing. And then eventually we started to talk and went back to my place. And then she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I came home with the least funny guy." Now she's been with the least funny guy for already a year and a half. And she never gets my jokes. She never finds them funny. But it's fine. I don't really mind. I don't really try to be funny for her because what's the point? She agrees to have sex with me anyway. So. And I have this one other thing that I work on. So if I could design a gun, I would make it in a way that instead of shooting bullets, it would shoot sperm. So this way there would be no war because no straight man would risk it. And I heard gay men don't like to fight. Okay, yeah, that's it, guys.
Nice.
All right. So some feedback here.
That's what you get when you put a guy on the spot, you get
Yeah.
guns that shoot sperms.
We call those penises. Guns already were our sperm shooting substitutes.
Yeah, guns are a replacement for penises. That's
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would change an American school shooting to be more like a Catholic school massacre.
Wow.
Oh, that's
that was perfect.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just made a quick note where I think you could take a joke or spin that joke where your girlfriend picked you up at the comedy show and you said you were the least funny comedian.
Yeah.
And just she could be like, because I knew you had to have the biggest dick because you didn't have the best jokes. Like,
Okay.
funniest guy, smallest dick.
You had the most. You had the most stage presence, and when I say stage presence, you had a microphone.
That's what happens when you wear shorts on stage.
Thanks.
But yeah, I think that's some funny idea there. I always love a little self-deprecating humor about comedy, so it's always good.
I like it. Thank you.
All right, other feedback.
I have nothing. I'm sorry.
I have nothing.
Kevin
It was
kind
great.
of took my point. Kevin kind of took my point. Like you got the killer feedback for the the church massacre. So, but yeah, that's the idea of just like a penis gun is hilarious, like a cum gun or semen gun, something like that. And there's it would stop a lot of wars because no one would want to get shot with like live jizz. But I
Do
feel
a
like
color me
just that
gun
idea.
with the semen gun.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather get shot in the head with a bullet than sprayed with like someone else's semen. So I feel like that you can go a lot of ways with that. It's very creative. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
It's not just the soldier that's providing his own bullets. It's every countryman that are like just ejaculating into like funnels on the corner of streets, and people are picking that up and making bullets out of that. That's teamwork.
Dude, you don't want the like one creepy guy that still buys paper porn to be like, I'm doing my part. This is for the war effort.
And it would
He's
be
still
kind of
using
interesting.
paper porn. I like that paper porn.
And I feel like you can add on like something like if all the guns were replaced with like semen guns, every battlefield would look like an orgy afterwards.
Yeah. You'll
Or
have
like a Jackson
more
Pollock
women's
painting.
participation in the army.
Yeah.
Oh,
Future tourist destination, slip and slide.
Yeah. Oh God. You'd have
Imagine
a lot
war
more porn
museums.
stars enlist.
Slip and slide war
You'd have a
museum.
lot. You'd have a lot of more porn stars enlist in the army because of that.
you'd have a lot more people step carefully through that minefield, though. They're like, oh, I don't want sticky shoes.
Yeah. Hey, does semen stain fake suede, or is that real suede that semen stains? Like,
I don't know. I haven't jizzed on enough cows.
Yeah.
just kissing on cows. What are you talking?
That's what leather is, suede, man.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Ahmed is
Thank you,
creating
guys.
mood lighting.
All right. So we're going to go, Jeremy, when you're ready for your set.
I had the word simplicity. So, like, the definition of simplicity is the lack of sophistication. And I don't know if you guys are smart, but they probably could have chosen a more simplistic word than that to describe the word simple. Like, sophistication, the lack of sophistication. Just me. When looking up the word simplicity in the definition or in the definitions, there was 17 of them. So like that's not something that's very simple. As a simple man, I don't own any tools. I can't really fix anything. I don't own a ladder. So many times I just go buy new products and then like enjoy the low-hanging fruits because I can't get really high. I mean, I can get rid. Life in Vietnam, it's pretty simple. Like living here, like 4 days a week, or 4 hours a day, I work. It's not very simple reading my stuff. I tell people I'm writing for 2 hours and then I can relax. But like lately, we've been on a lockdown. A fourth lockdown, so I've been limited to like sitting and dividing pieces of rice, and we got a 50 kg bag of rice. We got 4 people in my house, and we got 10 days. So far, everybody in my house can have 1,034 pieces of rice per day is what we're at. So like that's what kind of simplicity that we have here at my house. Like living in Vietnam, again, I work 4 hours a day. I tell people I'm writing for 2 hours and I can relax. But my simple day ends with a piece of cake all the time, every day, piece of cake. So the 80s, this was like a very simple time, much simpler time. We were solving the plastic situation, $1 bill, cocaine, no straw at a time. And those things were reusable. So like you guys, we need to think back to the 80s and do more cocaine. The acronym KISS is short for Keep It Simple Stupid. This is coming from the first translation that was Set Dab, which means stay easy to do, idle brained. So again, keep it simple, stupid. Being unappreciated means that I fuck up a lot, but like I fuck up in the way that like appreciation is a person. So there's that. The word attitude, I'm pretty bad at spelling. The word attitude it doesn't have 2 D's like I thought. It has 2 subtle T's. So today's world is much simpler. You know, take these nursery rhymes from the past as example. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, achoo, achoo, we all fall down. Today's world, that means wear a fucking mask. Example number 2. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He bumped his head and he went to bed and he couldn't get up in the morning. In today's world, this translates to shot in own home while sleeping by the police. And that doesn't make a catchy song. Thank you, guys. Simplicity.
I like how you turned a song about the plague and then one about not falling asleep or with a concussion to being about police brutality. Well done.
I didn't do that on my own. Somebody else
Preparing
wrote that.
to go back to America.
Yeah. I just made a note about, like, I think it's funny when people say, like, oh, I just like to live a simple life. And it's always like, you know, where you spend all day chopping wood and milking cows and making butter. And I'm like, nothing about that sounds simple.
That doesn't.
A lot of
doesn't
goddamn
sound
work.
simple at all. But like, what's simple for you is not simple for me.
I don't understand how going to Trader Joe's and getting a package of cookies is more complicated.
It's not simple for everybody.
Like, in no world is that the more complicated task.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
All right. Other feedback from folks.
I really like the 2 subtleties in attitude. Really like the wordplay there. And you said something like you don't have tools, but if you're simple, you're a tool. You don't need tools. Those are the 2 things that I wrote.
I got that. All right. Thank you, Peter.
I just took my feedback, which is I love the word the play on attitude, because it's true. When I sound it out, it sounds like there's 2 D's in it, but yeah,
Attitude. Yeah, subtlety.
Yeah, and yeah, I love the nursery rhymes, how you mix that in with today's world. Like, you know, we all fall down. That means wear a mask. Kind of brought COVID into it. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever hear those nursery rhymes the same ever again. But I like that.
I got inspiration from the last workshop I was on. He did like this whole thing about nursery rhymes, and I was like, so he gave me I think it was Clyde, but I don't remember who it was exactly. But it's still the same. It's still true.
Yeah, I wrote this note about when you say I can't fix things. I don't know if it's funny or not. Maybe it could be also. I did once. I tried to fix the broken condom, and that didn't go well. So they were fixing.
Okay.
All right, I just no, that you got me with the broken condom one. That's going to take a second to process. Nicely done. All right, so this brings us to the point where we are working on all the jokes we want to work on now, not just ones that we were randomly assigned. So we're going to go back on through, and we'll see what we got. All right.
Oh, I don't want to go first. I'm
just playing around with the screen here. All right. Let's see, where do I want to go with this? All right. Shit, I had all the jokes in my head and they completely just flew out. That's fine.
I love it.
It was a good sign of a reassuring host when he forgets all his material. I've been watching a lot of movies lately, and I've decided I think I love horror movies the most, and I only love cheap horror movies because I love watching a movie and where you can tell they only had so much budget for one really cool thing, and that's it. Like, I love I love that in horror movies because you'll watch them and they're like, oh, this is where all of our money's going to go. And it's always something like horribly cheesy or amazing. Like I like a movie that's budget looks like it was made by 3 frat brothers. And then their lead actress is whatever waitress they could find at a Waffle House that day. Like she is, and she's not even the prettiest waitress. She's just whichever one had the next shift free. I will watch those movies 100% of the time. Like I was watching one and it was a werewolf movie and it was this girl running from a werewolf. And then all of a sudden the wolf goes to pounce on her and the screen freezes and all you see is werewolf dick. All right. And you know, all of their budget, like it's just a guy covered in fake fur, but they invested in making the werewolf dick as real as possible. Like, and I was like, I'm here for this. This is what I enjoy now, not because I wanted to see werewolf dick, but I admire artistry in all its form. Because I don't know if you put your best special effects artist or your worst special effects artist on that job. But I like to think that that's the guy that has specialized his entire life in realistic penises. Like he went to art school for it. He has a strained relationship with his dad over it. Like he could have sold out to Big Dildo. He could have made those weird alien ones, but he's like, no, I want to see my creations on the silver screen. That's what he wanted. And like, dude, they tell him, hey man, we need you to make a werewolf dick. And he sits down, he spends his days just like looking at photo references of wolves. He gets kicked out of like 6 dog parks. All right. Finally, he just knocks it out of the park. Everyone's like, oh my God, if werewolves were real, that's what their dongs would look like. This guy is the Michelangelo of man meat, is what I'm saying. Like, he is the Picasso of phalluses. And he calls up his wife and he's like, honey, throw on a steak. They loved it. They think it's the best dick they've ever seen. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a tube of lipstick surrounded by hair, but they think it was amazing. And he comes home and he's just telling his wife about his day. His son is there resentful about it because he's 13. He's confused about how his body works. He's not proud of telling his friends what his dad does for a living. And he's just being a real asshole about it. And the dad is just like, hey, you put that steak in your mouth, okay? Dicks put that meat in your mouth, all right? This family was made on dicks. This family was built on dicks. You eat that meat, all right? I raise dicks in this family. I don't raise assholes. And that's kind of all I wanted to talk about was wolf dicks. So I'm going to call it quits on that. Thanks.
Kevin, I hope you're not doing that.
So nice.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta do that in the basement of a church. But I'm in a room that I don't think God knows where it is.
It looks like you're in a confessions room.
Yeah.
Like a strip club confessional is what I feel like I'm in.
Yeah. What was the name of the movie? Now I want to watch it all of a sudden.
It's a little adapted because there's a guy that does a joke about Wolf Cop, so I can't make reference to Wolf Cop explicitly. But there's a scene in it where they let you know the guy's turning into a werewolf because his penis explodes into a werewolf stick.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, all right.
I feel like that would be the best part about like the movie is just the fact that the jump scare would just be showing you a hairy dick. And like that would be the most terrifying thing because I agree with that. I agree with like the fact that like low budget movies actually are more entertaining nowadays. Like I just watched Fast and Furious 9 and it's like has a lot of budget, but it was like a pile of turds compared to the movie that you were describing. Also, I love the fact that, you know, we're just looking for whoever's the waitress who works at like a diner and whoever's like her shift ends soon or whatever. I love that. That was great. That was a great tag to that bit. But yeah, that's all the feedback I got. It was great.
All right. Anything else? Do I need to say dick a few more times.
To tag on what he said about the waitresses, I mean, isn't that just describing Hollywood? I mean, like, isn't every actress just like some waitress until somebody notices who she is? Sorry.
I think there's also too, like, because in most places you'd call them servers because you're being gender neutral, but I feel like if you're at a Waffle House, you are a waitress. Like you take steps back progressively.
Or a Hooters.
And then those are typically called like B films, and yeah, B films don't really make it to the main screen, but you can get them on VHS tapes, and like, yeah, those are good quality fucking movies. But yeah, there's one scene that makes the whole movie awesome, and that's where they spent all their money, and that's true.
Yeah, it's really insightful.
Shut up.
All right.
And maybe one more little note when you say that all you see is the dick of the werewolf. Maybe you can say that he was circumcised.
Oh, Jew dick.
He's a Jewish werewolf.
Man, you don't ever think about that.
But it's frozen on the screen, right? So you get to see the details. You wonder if it's a technical glitch that it's frozen or it's done deliberately.
No, the guy's just like, you know what? You need to see this. I worked very hard on this. I'm not allowed in pet, though. You're gonna see this.
Actually,
there are these actors like extras who get really small screen time, and then the blink of a moment that they're there, they tell their friends, "Oh, look at him, look at me, I'm here, I'm here." But this dick really gets a lot of screen time, like frozen. And that guy's claim to fame is that, look, I got the most screen time of what I created.
You know how they reuse props in movies where you're like, oh, this movie uses it. I wonder if that you were going to see that pop up again in another film. It just turns out it was Mark Wahlberg's dick from Boogie Nights.
No, I feel that like some of my friends have invited me to these things. They're like, hey, come to see this movie indie night show. And then you're there and like you're there for an hour, but like 52 minutes of that hour is staring at some wolf dick. Like it could be many different things. It could be apple dick. It could be pizza dick. Those are things that I've experienced personally. Pizza dick and apple dick. Come to the art show. It's fun. Like, yeah, that's weird.
What's a pizza dick? What's an apple dick? What are these
order
things?
one. I'll send you a link. You can order one to your house. It's not me. It's not me. You think I'm smart enough to make a business?
Well, you know the address of my house, so.
All right, so let's end on Pizza Dick and transfer over whenever you're ready.
That's a good segue. Old Pizza Dick
segue.
Good
segue. Yeah. My set gets ruined. So yeah, hi. We are in Vietnam and we are on a very strict lockdown again. So this morning I went to the nearby supermarket to buy cartons of Common Sense and a few bags of Sanity. But the shelves were empty. Looks like people panic bought for the fear of lack of supply. And what's interesting is that we found that there is, in Western world, when there was lockdown, you guys suffered from having no toilet papers in supermarkets, right? Well, we are suffering from no eggs anywhere in the city. That's how existential we Asians are.
You need eggs.
So I'll just change the topic. Recently, a female comic told me on a Zoom mic, Ankita, you make me laugh so much. And I told her that all the men tells me the same. That's how they lose erection mid-sex. I'll talk a bit about my mom and my relationship. My mom recently figured out that I'm trying comedy, and she wrote me off immediately. But then that's hardly a surprise because she's written off all my past lovers with no reasons. This time, at least, she chose to give me a reason. She told me, "Look, you have no husband who yells at you, nor do you have kids who you yell at. So your life is not fun." Coming from your own mom, that shit is heartbreaking. I mean, look, I want to say this here. I don't have a kid because I wanted to make relationship with adults, and throughout my life, I made relationships with adults who behave like kids. So I'm done babysitting Tinder matches. So I went to a therapist to make my life fun again. He recommended frequent masturbation for my anger management, and it was working so well until the day the nurse walked in. I mean, look, he lost his license, but I lost my dignity. Which one do you think is bigger? I also downloaded Tinder looking for fun, but mom said matches are made in heaven. We don't need apps for that. I told her, yeah, mine's probably already in heaven waiting for me. But then I started comedy, and it's been fun since, because nowhere else do I get to hold on to a hard, phallic looking object in public for so long without it going limp. It's going really well for me. My mom is also friends with me on Facebook, and if I have to describe my social media relationship with her in one word, it's restricted. Why? Because what happens, let's say I post a picture from a girls' night out and there are 5 girls, gorgeous, in focus, and maybe one blurry, obscure guy somewhere far in the background. She sees that picture and asks me, "So that guy with you in the picture, is he married?" I didn't ask mom. I don't know if it's okay to have that kind of conversation with a waiter, especially if he's not serving your table. But I'll try next time. Now, this happened a few times, but one time she seemed rather pleased. She told me that, "Oh, I'm so happy that you finally ditched those young blokes you usually go for and found yourself a respectable older man." It was a framed photo of Ho Chi Minh in the backdrop, guys. I have a restricted sense. Actually, if I look at it, my relationship with my mom is a lot like my relationship with autocorrect, always comes with weird suggestions, especially when not needed. Once it changed perspective to perspective, and I ended up on a weird date in a museum of illusion. It changed, often changes paid for trips to pay for, and I have to travel solo. Once it changed want to cunt, and I have been single since. But the worst thing is it confused the fuck out of my mom when I wrote to her, "But mom, I do like a guy with a big duck." That's all I got. Thank you.
That's good.
All right. Oh, there we go.
Imagine
Yeah.
like some place that has like the largest duck championships, and they just like, you bring your duck here, and you're gonna weigh them against like every duck against the world. But then in their advertisement, they actually get a typo and it says dick, and then like you got all these dudes with like, never mind. You see where that's
The
going.
winner is the duck that doesn't get wet.
I'm really surprised you didn't tie it back into your egg comment with the duck at the end. I feel like there's a nice callback you can make in there.
It's a bad egg.
Yeah.
The first one that I thought about, because you made the first joke about existential or eggs,
Yeah.
something about, that one was good. That's the first thing that came up to me when you were talking about ducks. So but I love the ending. The ending was really good, and the way that you described the relationship with your mom is hilarious.
Thank you.
I think you have a great turn of phrase when you talk about your mom being like autocorrect. I think that's just a good rule of 3 that you've built there. That's a good joke. So, and I especially like how you then gave some examples. The perspective one really made me laugh. So nicely done.
Thanks.
I don't know what I wrote. I mean, I know I wrote 72 virgins, but that's, I don't know. There's virgins, like your match is in heaven. I hope he's not a virgin. I don't know where that's going. But yeah, good luck. I hope he can fuck well.
I only make this little note when you say that your mom asks if the guy is married in your picture, and then you say no, and she says, "Can you please get his phone number for me?" Really like to
That's nice.
Like your mom doesn't, like you don't have a chance, but your mom does have a chance. Like
Maybe
like,
with Hokimen, you know.
yeah. Like, hey, that guy in the picture behind you, was he available?
Yeah.
Mom. Come on over, Mom. I'll introduce you. You said you need to get her to move here. So.
Yeah.
I also like how did you say your mom said yelling at you kids was fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah.
maybe you should question her on that one a little bit. Like, did you have a jest for the abuse?
No, I'm pretty sure that my mom.
Indian parenting, you know, yelling is very common. I
No,
sometimes
my
use
mom
beating actually.
would be Indian if we weren't white. Like she yelled at us all the time.
That's a term of affection for, like,
Yeah.
international parents. Yelling is just like, expressing our emotions.
Yeah. Also,
towards-
we are 1.4 billion people. We really need to yell at each other in order to be heard. So.
It's a lot of people talking.
Yeah.
in your house.
Just like 67 people in my house right now.
Yeah.
They're all talking right now. They're all on their phones like, hey, fuck, I'm over here at Jeremy's house. Like, well, fuck, I'm over here at Jeremy's house. It's fucking trouble, man.
All right.
Nobody's at my house. I'm just trying to make it look like I'm cool, guys.
Imaginary people.
All
I
right.
wasn't pointing out my head. I was saying there's crazy people up here. It's not my bald head. It's not.
All right. So, Ahmad, whenever you're ready.
All right. Yeah, I'm ready. So hi guys, my name is Ahmad. As you guys know, I'm currently residing in the Middle East, but I'm originally from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Lived there for about 4 years, or as everyone that I know calls it, the Canadian Detroit. It's funny because a lot of people make fun of Hamilton for being like Detroit, but like, being from Hamilton, I'm just happy not to be standing on homeless men feet when I'm there. I feel like Hamilton is just a turd that Canada hasn't flushed yet. Are my 5 minutes up, Kevin, yet?
Nope.
Not yet.
And that opening did not take long. All right, so I never understood who made symbols. I'm interested with symbols, but I just don't know how they make sense. Like, I know that the olive branch symbol is a symbol for peace. Like some countries would offer an olive branch to their enemies when they're trying to de-escalate heavy situations. Like, hey, sorry we torched your town, so here's a tree that grows sour dates as a symbol of our peace. It's funny because that's where the term extending an olive branch came from, which is weird. And it's actually kind of contradictory considering the fact that Palestine and Israel are the most notable places that grow olive trees. That's like, having Ray Rice's mugshot symbolize domestic violence awareness, Sometimes the peace symbol is also like a circle with the 3 lines at the bottom of it. I didn't think that signifies peace either. Like, to me, that peace symbol just looks like a Mercedes logo with Down syndrome. As you guys have found out already, I don't really know how to start shows, Thankfully, you guys can see that right now, or you can't really see how I dress, but I don't sound or dress the way I look. You know what I mean? Like I dress like I found some homeless person's clothes. I sound like a gay real estate agent, and I look like I shouldn't be permitted within 25 feet of a school zone, you know? So it's not really a good look for me. Shit, hold up. Oh, I actually got a friend who recently got recruited by ISIS, which is crazy. Mostly because I didn't know that they recruited Mexicans. Like, I mean, I literally sent in my resume and everything. They just still didn't accept my friend request. But like, fuck, even George got accepted there. We'll see how it goes. So right now I'm just gonna do some dad jokes, so just bear with me. I saw a kidnapping today at the bus, but I didn't want to wake him up. It's funny because I haven't slept for 11 days because I feel like that would be way too long of a nap. I honestly, it's funny because I hear a lot of weird, like, you know, phrases here, like don't stroke my mouse hair, the one that a lot of my British friends say, and I don't even understand what that means. I feel like we should Americanize it more, like something like don't jerk my cocktail. That's something that could work. There's a lot of words that I actually don't understand what they mean, like transparency. I never understood what transparency meant. Like, to me, I thought that it just means having different parents from the ones that you were born with. And I don't think that other people understand what transparency means, to be honest. Like, yesterday, my girlfriend told me that I'm a very transparent human being. But just this morning, my wife told me that she can see straight through my bullshit. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm a transparent human being. What do you want? I recently took a personality test, which I don't think I'll ever do that again. I don't understand the point of them. Like, I didn't even understand the results. At first, I thought they were just making fun of the fact that I never got laid because all the results kept saying that I was showing signs of extroversion. So, and fuck, this is so annoying. Sorry, guys, one sec. I also think that the PC culture should be 1 minute. All right. I think that the PC culture should be replaced with a PP culture. Not for anything that they've done or said. I actually agree with it, but I feel like in that culture, you're being politically polite and not politically correct. And also, I feel like it'll be a more effective way in sniffing out pedophiles on social media. So I also, when I was in Canada, I heard the term freezing rain a lot, and I never understood what it meant. I thought it was just a fancy way of saying that it was going to snow tomorrow. And there's other terms that I've never heard, like a new car scent. That's a pretty interesting thing, like a new car scent that you can put in your car. I feel like we should promote that for other products, you know, like a new scented candle, or like a new dick flavored condom. I feel like that would sell really well with middle-aged men. And one sec. I feel like I don't think I have time for that. I know I'm just gonna end it with these with a couple of just two more phrases. I feel like judges are stupid. Like, why do you get to decide shit just because you have a graduation gown and a wooden hammer and I'm supposed to respect you? Anyway, that was just my defense statement. My lawyer didn't like that. And the last two that I'm gonna say, they're not really jokes. They're just things that I thought of off the cusp right before we started off, and they're just phrases. I feel like KKK rallies and music festivals are the only places where you can scream out the N-word and no one will care. Thanks, guys.
All right. Dick flavored condoms.
I'll be back. I gotta pee.
All right. I just laughed because I thought, like, wouldn't that just, I think you need to come up with like a funny name for that, like Nick Carrette or Nick Cockret gum or something. It seems like somebody that's like trying to cut down on their dick intake is going to start chewing those. For your slutty friend, get her dick supplement gum. I'm trying to see. I had a couple other notes, but I can't read my writing. So I'll let somebody else jump in.
Would be a good idea for a penis flavored gum.
Your olive branch thing. I think it's just funny that you would give somebody an olive branch, so you're just giving somebody a stick to hit you with. Seems like a bad idea. So, all right. Other folks, what you got?
Oh, I have this little note. I think the joke you say about that I only slept in 11 days because that would be too long. That one I heard before. I think Mitch Hedberg did it. So I'm not sure if I remember correct. I can send you the link if I find the joke.
Yeah, I know Mitch Hedberg, the guy who does like fast one-liners.
Yeah.
The guy that passed away like in 2005 or something.
Yeah, I
Something
don't know.
like that.
The
Yeah, I
trend is
didn't.
about that.
I love him. I love his stand-up. I watched a lot of it, but I've never heard that joke before. Yeah, I guess I won't use it if it's already been created. But I don't know. It's just something that I thought about after I was talking about. I saw kidnapping today, so I woke him up. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like the same idea. But
Yeah, happens all the time. You come up with a joke and then you find out, oh, somebody already did it.
yeah, it's already
Someone
made
already stole my joke.
before I stole it from them. Oh.
I liked at the beginning you said, "Is my time up?" And I heard this noise, and it sounded like you had been flushed, like a toilet just flushed, and you like, "Is my time up?" No, you were done, and you were out, but you were still there. And I liked the thing when you said like, "I look like I sound like," that thing was good. I don't remember all of it, but I can't focus on two things at once. But the ultimate judgment at the end, like, again, I don't remember what that related to. So just something. There was something where you were judging something at the end of the set, and then it's like the ultimate judgment.
I think there was a joke about like a judge. I was just saying judges are stupid because why do they get to decide shit just because they have a graduation gown and a wooden hammer? I'm supposed to
Yeah.
respect them because of that. Anyway, that was my defense statement in trial, and my lawyer didn't like that. That was a joke.
Okay. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're the ultimate graduate instead of the ultimate judgment because they've graduated 2 times now, and they're like, I don't know where I was going. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right. Any other notes, feedback? All right. All right. So we're gonna move. Narc, did you have some other stuff you wanted to run?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I'll use some other things to work on.
I'll start your time whenever you're ready.
Okay, thanks. So you know how Facebook gives you ads based on what you usually search or what you usually talk about, so then find ads about that on your page. So I don't know what I did wrong, but every time I open Pornhub, I get these ads about what to do if you have very small penis or how to deal with premature ejaculation. I don't know what did I search wrong that I got into that. So my parents are from Soviet Union, so there are many books at home that are from Soviet Union. And I found this one book that teaches how to write jokes. And what's interesting to me is that it mentions about the rule of 3, which is, no jokes about the Communist Party, no jokes about food and cars, so people can relate. And my parents told me that in Soviet Union there was So my parents also told me that in Soviet Union there was no sugar daddies because there was no sugar, and all the daddies were at war. And there's kind of stereotype that women don't orgasm, and I realized it's not true. I realized it when I was working in a kindergarten, and one of the kids had a single mother. And we started to talk, and one thing led to another, and went on a date, and she told me that she can actually orgasm. And then she invited me back to her place, and we were making out in her bedroom, and then she said, would you please take a shower? I took a shower. I get off the shower. Things were about to happen. And then she says, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I cannot do this. My daughter is just in the next room." I was like, "If you couldn't do that, why would you make me take a shower then? Could have stayed dirty for another day." And this one. So there's, I used to be jealous of this homeless guy in my neighborhood because he wasn't living with his parents. Until I met this other homeless guy who was homeless with his parents. And I was like, man, just be more independent. Get your own nothing. That's it for me. Thank you, guys.
All right. All right. Feedback for you there.
Did you just say get your own nothing?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Get your own nothing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, I do. I like that bit. So that's definitely one that I would keep playing around with. That's fun. As fun as
Also,
homeless
that
people
shower
can be.
joke is nice.
But the beginning is okay, or the beginning is not really the women don't orgasm part?
Say that again.
Funny? The beginning part that women don't orgasm, is that part funny, or what do you guys think? Not so much.
Well, I mean, it's kind of true. So, like, stereotypes are okay because they're kind of true, I guess. No, not really. You
I think you could
probably
also
shouldn't
point out,
make
like,
fun
were
of
you on your
women for not
girlfriend's
being able to
computer?
orgasm. You shouldn't do that.
Sorry, what? Oh. Kevin, were you saying something? I didn't hear.
Oh, I think you could point, like, because you said you used the Pornhub ads, you could point out that you were on your girlfriend's account.
Oh.
Yep. All right. Other feedback?
I don't know what I wrote this for, but it says, what did I do wrong? And then you're like, it's what my dad taught me. Like, this is how my dad taught me about sex, or this is how my dad taught me. I don't remember what part of the joke that you said that, so I don't know. But just write it down, and then you're like, what the hell's he talking about? You'll probably never figure it out either. So, like, what did I do wrong? And then you're like, it's what my dad taught me.
Okay.
Like, maybe your stroke, your sexual. No.
I thought it's what did I do? Okay, never mind. Thanks.
Don't
anyway.
bring your daddy issues to everyone's life, Jeremy.
Sorry.
All right.
What did I do?
So speaking of Jeremy's daddy issues, let's actually bring him up for his set. Whenever you're ready.
I think I got too drunk. Like, you guys should prepare this thing earlier in the morning for you, Kevin, because I'm too drunk now. Like, I see people online, there's grown ass people that use paint by number apps to feel creative. What's going on? Like, I heard more than one Zoom comic that quit their job and pursued comedy full time after a year of Zoom shows. I mean, if comedy was if doing comedy was that easy, then we'd all have that one family member that's a comedian. And Uncle Shortarm over here sharing his circle jerk stories again at Christmas is not a comedian. So smart people don't have a lot of friends. And I'm not saying this because I'm smart. I'm just saying this because I don't have a lot of friends. So you guys, I'll send you a link to my podcast so that you can not listen to me at home as well. That'd be great. That's awesome. So we laugh at pyramid schemes in life. We're like, oh, you sucker, you paid money into something. But then there's government, and nobody sees a difference. In America, we're the first at everything except for the sunrise. So fuck America with the sunrise. You're never gonna see that shit first, bitches. A lot of self-help programs coming out on the internet. Internet. A lot of self-help programs coming out on the internet nowadays. But I think that everyone who signs up for these programs are basically missing the point when somebody asks them to pay to help yourself. Like, you guys are missing that point. Like $600. I don't think so. Myself's not worth that much. So like I overheard a conversation a couple of weeks ago here in Vietnam, and it's before the lockdown. Everything was simple during the lockdown. I mentioned the counts of rice I did, but this guy says, I'm not eating this fish unless it's marinated in sewer water. That was what I translated from his Vietnamese that he said, and I'm not really good at Vietnamese, so like maybe that's not what he said. I've been writing about government, and they said that like there's 3 different types of governments. There's 3 different areas of government. There's the criminals, the pedophiles, and then there's the corporations. Maybe I said that in the wrong order. And then you guys remember, maybe some of you guys are old enough, and Keita, you're old enough, but you guys probably didn't have internet. But like maybe you guys remember dial-up? Remember like having to like download your pornography and like save it for a later time when you can like use it for another time? Like I went to my mom's house 2 years ago, and I found all my downloaded pornography from when I was like 18 years old. It was saved on this hard drive, and it was weird because like I can remember, oh, that was the day that Sheila broke up with me. Because like you got to download pornography because like it dial up. Okay, forget about it. That's all I got.
All right.
I don't know where that was going. It's wrote better on that paper, but I don't have the same paper pulled up. Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. So, like, when I was watching this, like, I found all of my high school porn, and it was saved in like favorites. So it was like, here is January 1st, 2000. That's when I graduated high school. So, like, here's the best movies I downloaded during January of 2000. When I was graduated from high school, you think about taking me back to prom and the videos that I watched before prom. Like, it's all saved there. It's all just takes me back to a time when I was doing a lot of masturbating. Okay, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Feedback on high school masturbation. All right. Whenever we're ready.
I'm still doing it. I learned it from you, Dad.
When you were talking about self-help, I just wrote that you need a bit of self-help, masturbate more.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm writing that down. My penis is going to fall off after 4 days of 14 down.
Or your hand, you don't know.
Gonna look like a loving accident.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ankita, for saying something about losing hands runs in my family. That's
can extend something on the high school masturbation. Like I still do high school masturbation through my college years or through my like middle-aged years or something like that. I just thought about like, you know, I'm not a high schooler, but I still do high school masturbation, sort of something like that. But yeah, that's what stuck out with me. It was good.
The porn videos from the high school days were actually smaller. Now that you download them at a later date or you look at those files, you're like, those files are so small, and like so today's videos are like 4K, and you're like, oh, is that a pimple on her butt?
It's amazing how much your mind can make like pixels sexy. Really is.
Or desperate. How you
Yeah.
desperate.
I learned it from you, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, it's better
Uh,
than before. Like before, you'd have to get like magazines and like hide them under a tree and shit or behind a dumpster. Now all you need is like Wi-Fi and a closed door, pretty much. So can kind of expand on that, like how it was back then to how it
Yeah,
is now.
well, I mean, the whole thing was about like how nowadays you could stream it. Like nowadays you can just download or you can stream any porn you want at any time. And before it's like we had to download it because we had dial up, and then like you never really knew when that was going to be beneficial for you. So like when I went home to my family's house and I found my old like storage drive and I plugged it in my computer and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is like a go back in time. And then the internet shut off. So I'm like, oh fuck, what do I use to masturbate to go to sleep tonight? Well, I got a whole internet database of pornography that I downloaded 15 years ago that I could use. So it's like you never know when you can use that. It's like treasure, really, when you're visiting your parents' in house, you know.
Or you can say that it's not before it was a challenge that I had to stay hard while I'm waiting for the video to finish loading or
No,
downloading
yeah,
or
no,
something like that.
I have some joke about that as well, like where it's oh, it's downloaded, I'm about to finish. Oh, that's a transsexual. She's got a penis. I finished anyways. I mean, like I liked the picture, like, but it was weird when you were kids. No
You
Napster
finished
porn.
by looking at the thumbnail.
No, there wasn't no thumbnail sometimes. You just like I went to my friend's house and I brought my computer to his house. We plugged it into his internet and I said porn. And then like everything that came up, I was like download. And then everything that downloaded, I was like, well, this is pretty questionable. Like there was a lot of fucked up things. So it's pretty weird. Masturbate more. I will. Thank you.
all right. Any other feedback besides those words of wisdom?
I wrote this little thing when you say that's when I broke up with Sheila. Maybe also that's also when I lost my hair. Because you know when you masturbate a lot you lose hair. I don't know, I also lost a lot here.
It's on my hand now. It's
Yeah.
going.
Is that what your parents told you? I just thought I was going to get hairy palms.
That's what I thought. Like, I'm trying to turn into Teen Wolf over here, right?
It's true. If you have more testosterone in your system, you tend to go bald. So, yeah, Narek, maybe more masturbation has led you to lose hair as well.
I am.
You say that at every workshop. Is just. May I suggest a merch shirt for you?
I'll take one.
All right. So, folks, that brings us to the end of the first international workshop. I guess when we have an American and Canadian on there, that's international too, but it's boring. So we don't count it. All right, real quick, where can we find you folks? Where can we see you? Why don't we go that way? So where can we find you? Where can we see you, Nark?
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, that's it.
All right. Jeremy, what about yourself?
Here on the workshop, making stupid comments on the internet. Probably nowhere else. That's about it. You guys just see me here.
Okay. Ankita, what about yourself?
That's my Facebook comedy page link, Ankita.Ghosh Comedy. It's called Tough Love with Ankita. You can find me there.
All right. And Ahmad, what about yourself?
I put my down here. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, my house, and any nearby Burrito Boys or Taco Bell.
All right.
Oh, I miss Taco Bell.
Bringing back
I just
memories.
said that just because of the set that you were talking about. But yeah, currently, sadly, there's not a lot you can do because everything is online. We used to have, I think they still have it. So if anyone's in the GTA in Canada, go check out Cowell Comedy or go to Stanley Park for some live comedy shows at the park. So that's pretty cool.
All right. Awesome. And you can find me at Cavan_egg on everything from Twitter to TikTok. So have a good day, folks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.